What up, what up, what up? Oh, sorry about that. It's not supposed to be up there. Turn that off. There we go. There I am. That's my beautiful face. What's going on, Banditos? Yeah, one hell of a day, isn't it? One hell of a couple of days, that is. You guys all caught up on the latest? What up, what up, what up? Chaos, appreciate the sub. The Rock, it's good. Yeah, we're chillaxing. This is the calm before the storm. The storm is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. If you're not aware, we're going to get a live stream from the devs. Now, I know some people are presenting it as if it's a live stream to address the DLC concerns, but it is absolutely not. This is a live stream because of the PTS. So they're going to cover the patch notes and the modifiers, especially, right? And then we'll probably get to see the new gear as well, the season 2 gear or season 3 gear. But Garrity did mention, hey, if you want to hear what's up about the DLC, show up to the live stream. Granted, right? There's no way these dudes are going to be able to skirt the conversation. I mean, everybody's going to ask about it, right? And they know that. So, yeah, they're going to have to address the elephant in the room. The question is, are they going to face it like a man, or are they going to give us the PR shank to the kidney from behind, which is what I feel like is going to happen. I'm sure it is. And I get it. I don't want to act like I'm not realistic. They have to abide by communication standards. PR controls that. Or, you know, marketing or somebody in the higher ups, right? Has to give these guys permission what they can say. However, if Garrity is there when it comes to the division, you think he would have some sort of control on what you can and cannot say. So if Garrity is there in the live stream, then he should be put on the spot and he should actually be able to answer. I mean, Mark Rubin was able to throw out his shit, right? So I think a guy in that role, what up, Snake? A guy in that role should be able to make the call on what communications can be released. Now, because of the way that they do things, the company culture, a lot of stuff they're going to keep close to their chest. But things like I would expect to hear, I wouldn't expect him to say, hey, there's a possibility we're going to shut down tomorrow. So that's why we're not releasing the DLC, because we're not going to be able to support it. Because of the layoffs, we don't know what kind of staff can support this. You know what I'm saying? So like this, what they're not going to say any of that stuff, right? They might say, hey, we have a lot going on. We need to make sure we have a quality launch. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in the headlines. He might mention stuff like that, right? Very high level. It's going to be super high level. There's going to be no way. Look, people are going to be like, oh, you know, doomsayer talk, you know, that kind of stuff. People are like that over there. Depends on which channel you're on and who you follow. And it's interesting if you read through the comments. But like, you know, some people are still in denial that the DLC has been delayed indefinitely. You know, and that's why one of the things I emphasized in the video I put out earlier today was like, hey, look, it's indefinite. They said, what up, Orbiter? They said flat out, man, like, they said, like, not in year 6. It's open-ended. They did not say it's coming in year 7. They did not say it's coming in year 8. They didn't say it's coming in year 2030. You know, it's just, you know, whatever. But they did leave us to make the assumption that we're still to expect it by saying that they want to give it more time for quality reasons, which we know is bullshit, because easy 3 years they've been working on this. Easy, right? They announced it in 2022 and we were supposed to get it a couple of months later in 2023 and we didn't, right? So, which means it was in development way before that. Now, what I think has happened, like this is speculation here, so let's go down this road, is that because I think a lot of this has to do with the Stockholm office having its layoffs. And I believe it was around 20 people that they laid off. Okay. And if you look closely on what Stockholm did for the Division 2 is that they managed a lot of the environmentals, especially story related environmentals. You know, so anything that ties into the story and the theme of the game. So we're not talking about grass and trees. We're talking about more like, you know, like an encampment or an abandoned, you know, something that shows the devastation to the area because of this post-apocalyptic situation as it relates to the mission you're going through or the story you're experiencing at that time. And they did all of that stuff for the Division 2. We don't know how much participation that they've had. It's not on the forefront. I mean, of communications, right? The stuff isn't. So it might be that they had billable hours that massive studios would outsource that to Stockholm or something like that, right? Or not, you know? But my question is like, if that's what they did for the Division 2, it would be fair. There's got to be a connection. I'm making the assumption that there's a connection between that Stockholm office and the new DLC, that they had something there in its design, development, and maybe would be required in order to launch that game. And if there were issues, then somebody from that Stockholm team might be the one that they would call on to resolve said issue. So even if the package is ready to ship, shit goes wrong. We all know that, and they wouldn't have anybody to call because of potentially that person being laid off. Who knows? I don't know, you know, or it's just because of greater issues or all of the above. You know, Assassin's Creed is a big one. One, they probably didn't want the DLC to interfere with Assassin's Creed. There's that. Or everybody is on hold and holding their breath to see how Assassin's Creed is going, and it's not going very well. So, you know, the latest rumor is that as soon as Assassin's Creed launches, they're going to can Quebec, all of Quebec, Ubisoft Quebec. Ubisoft Quebec is the one that basically has built the Assassin's Creed from the ground up for the most part. So they did Valhalla, they did Blackbeard, and some of the other major Assassin's Creed titles. They own Assassin's Creed when it comes to development. And the rumor is, as soon as Assassin's Creed launches, they're going to can that whole office, shut it down. I mean, that's chaos, man. That's chaos. But, and then right now, you know, feedback is not going very well. Anyways. And I just think it's ridiculous. I've heard people say, oh, you know, Assassin's Creed has nothing to do with this. Well, when Assassin's Creed is the last lifeline for Ubisoft, it absolutely is connected. It's ridiculous to not think that, you know, this is all that this is one corporation, I guess. Let's put it that way. You know, massive studios is not independent, folks. What up, Simon? So, you know, it is what it is. But you know what? This is what you got to know, right? We're ride or die around here. Like a lot of the dudes that are in the chat with us right now have been playing the game since 2019. You know, and some have taken breaks and have come back, whatever. But we've been here from the beginning, and we're going to be here till the end. And if Ubisoft goes down, the Division is going to find a home, whether it's in the new Ubisoft that is born from the ashes as a partnership with Tencent, which is something that they're working on. They're creating a new venture potentially around Ubisoft's assets, which includes their IPs, as a partnership with Tencent. So this is going to be one of the top games that they maintain. Hopefully they get rid of Skull and Bones. You know what I mean? That fucker. But or this game ends up with Tencent, or it gets sold to the highest bidder. But you know, whatever happens to the Division 2, you know, we'll be here for it. But, you know, Ubisoft is in it deep, folks. They are. This is not fake news. All right? Get out there, do some research. You'll see stuff is real. They're panicking. They are panicking. But me personally, I'm just pissed because it's just like, you know, they treat us like children, like we don't fucking know, you know, and it sucks. You know, it sucks. Oh, we got to do our scout, by the way. Let's start off there. Manhunt. Where's this want us to be here? Explore the mall. All right, so staying in the East Mall, that's good. Grampy is obsessed with Greek mythology. To earn more points, you need to recover what's left of Icarus. Icarus? Greek mythology. What do we got here? This is the Ark. American History Museum. What's Icarus? Solar farm. I want to say it has something to do with the Ark. Crash site control point? Really? That's what it is? No, it's okay. I don't mind. I didn't know that one anyways. I would have never guessed. Icarus? What is like Greek mythology? The only thing I could think of is that statue outside of Capitol building. Does it have anything to do with that? What is Icarus? Like there's this fighting. I'm thinking of something around here. Isn't there like this statue with horses? What am I thinking of? I mean, that looks Greek. No, that's World War II. That's Civil War, I think. Isn't there some bunch of horses on this statue? Oh, there it is. This one. No, that's not Greek either. Okay. Oh, okay. Icarus got shot down by a surface air missile. Icarus. Icarus. He flew too close to the sun. It was that one? All right. I'll believe you guys. He ran fast. Oops, I accidentally reloaded. Bad habit, man. Can't reload when you're running this gun. I think I should probably run Intimidate chest. Way too fast. It's way too fast. The gun. You might have to change a couple things. Well, we'll see here in the second orbiter. The mag is way too small for this kind of speed. I think I could put back on the bloodsucker with this one. I forgot why we were running the memento. It had something to do with the event, didn't it? Or directives or something. Because we weren't able to run the shield. Or maybe I changed it because we weren't using the holster very much. Oh, fucking still light. You got it. It worked. All right. Good job, H. Good job. Let's go Texas. Let's go Texas. Good question about the profit. No, we can't be this profitable, but we are profitable. You know, I think they broke even on the IP a long time ago. But because it's cleared $1 billion as a franchise. And then they don't have a cost in an upfront cost in on it like they would Avatar and Star Wars because of having to buy into that. But yeah, I mean, maintaining it is costing them on a continuous basis, right? With the servers and staff and whatever. So who really knows in the end? But they're looking to make money off of this, man. What up, CBR? You know, I think that's what. Here's a big question, and actually we got to address this next. I think we'll know tomorrow. I think they're going to introduce. I think they're going to introduce player expressions tomorrow. What do you guys think? You remember player expressions? That was part of what they announced at Ubisoft Forward in 2022. So Seasons 2.0, we got seasonal characters, Seasons 2.0, the DLC, and player expressions. And I think that the player expressions is probably independent. I bet you could launch without the DLC. And I think the player expressions is just a fancy word for microtransactions. You know what I mean? More apparel more, you know, money off of apparel and stuff like that. I don't know. They're probably giving us the ability to customize our agents further. So more expanded capability on that. Which is mechanics. So I don't know if it's ready or not, but anyways, that's obviously about making money too, you know. Is that what they said, Chevy? I thought I remember them saying, I got the recording. I thought I remember them saying also that you can customize your character like never before or something like that. Yeah, right, Speed? I mean, it would kind of be a little bit. See, that's the thing. It's all about spinning it though, right? That's what I mean by spinning shit, the spinsters. Because they're gonna spin it like it's new content. Right? But the reality is like, hey, that's just a route to make money. And I'm not against businesses making money. Of course not. But oh man, I would be hesitant to spend right now. I mean, how shitty is it to, you know, spend $100 on apparel just for the business to go out? The game just shut down, the servers just shut down, you know? They're not required to refund you. Looks like we're gonna do History Museum next. Our players, the player models are old. That is one of the older systems in the game, right? Like it's dated. One of the things that does date quickly in the Division 2 is our character models and basic movements. Some of the movements. I mean, when you got omnidirectional whatever content out there, the Division 2 is pretty fucking linear when it comes to the way we move, right? We can barely fucking run. I mean, that's walking. That's running. Oh my God, I'm so fast. All right, let me change something here. So one of these, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want impatient. Gives me 30% rate of fire, which is nice. But let me give myself some speed. Let's see if we like that better. Prone would be nice. Papa squat would be good. Yeah, there is prone, right? It's for the sniper and the LMG guy. They got it. It's Tusk today. All right. It's a little bit more interesting in here. Not too late. So a lot of people are also, there's kind of a thing going around where people are seeing that the February 25th launch date is like, oh my God, look, they shortened this season. And they did a little bit, you know, it's only 5 days shorter. Because if they were to stick to the original plan, it would, which is a 120-day season, it would land on a Sunday. So not much of a break from our 4-month typical season. I wouldn't really give them that much credit for that, you know, because overall, because of the delay from season 1 to 2, we're still behind the year 6 calendar schedule. This will put us behind by 15 days instead of 20. I'm glad it's coming early though. Shit, might as well. The downside is the new mission, climax mission, mastery and all that. Not gonna have as much time with it. That's interesting. Spark, skill damage, skill haste. You could put a skill tier on that, put mag size on that, and then get a really big capacitor by running Brazos with it too. I'm gonna loot it and then probably delete it later. Yeah, so the new chess piece, I feel like they changed it, by the way. Does anybody else feel like the definition for the talent for the chess piece, the new exotic one, has changed? I do have some screenshots from it, of it before, but it used to, I believe it used to say 35% protection from all enemies, and now it's like 25%? Do you guys recall?
System malfunctioning.
25% is still pretty good. And then they added some PvP language on it, which wasn't there before. Got it. Okay, I thought I was imagining it for a second. I'm digging this chatterbox, man. Came out really good. No, I think it was 35%. Yeah. Yeah, because I took some screenshots of it when they originally announced it. And then I noticed recently that it was revised and that they added PvP language. I don't remember that being there either. Van Damme. Yeah, they probably will nerf it, Calaxinus. Probably right, man. It's like, you guys didn't need us to test it. Man, I hope we get good gear, man. I hope we get good gear. I am excited for tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. You know me. I love the Division 2, and I love gear. I love our builds. I hope our modifiers are good. I hope we don't get shit modifiers. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I don't want the modifiers to be stupid and watered down, and I hope they learn from their mistakes. Nah, what am I talking about? What am I saying? But you know what I mean? Like, but I love their gear and I love making builds, and I'm hoping that they give us something good, man. Because last season wasn't it all pretty weak? System reactivated. Oops, I forgot the computer. It was all what was the gear that they gave us? We got the gear set, which is okay, but you don't have to run it. That's the problem, right? I mean, I do like it. Like, if you're building into weapon handling or mag size, I mean, I really enjoyed this set, but you don't have to run it. But those first two stats are interesting. Handling and mag size on a really strong build where you have modifiers and you're just cutting shit down. You know what I mean? Then, like, weapon handling and mag size is awesome, you know? But the talent is complicated. It works. It's fine. But I'd rather, you know, if when it comes down to the talent, that you have better choices. Appreciate you, Maritime. Thanks for that sub.
Ha! That's my boy!
Thanks for making sure I saw it, too. Sitting here blabbermouthing. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that, and that's one of the things I said to look out for tomorrow. Because all season they were talking about, or teasing us about, giving us more stash space. Because of the abandoned seasonal characters, they had the server space. Oops. Do we get that this season? Or do budget cuts dictate otherwise? Oh, BG, I guess it depends on how much. I mean, I would wait.
This must be the last of them. Take them down, Agent.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy anything Ubisoft, any game Ubisoft, until you hear what's going on with Assassin's Creed. So you're talking like within a month after Assassin's Creed launches. Because the whole company hinges on Assassin's Creed landing and everybody hitting hard with the community, and everybody knows that. This game is great, and if it's cheap, yeah, you should buy it, you know? The devs suck. Just like I said, you know, this is what my advice to everybody is like, yeah, I love this game. This game is great. It stands a test of time, you know? Still enjoy it every time I log in. But you have to come in eyes wide open. And you just have to be aware that it's got some pretty crappy devs. You know? And mostly it's about communication. I'll be frank. It's not. I mean, they work for Ubisoft, so they're handicapped. But aside from that, it's just their communication. That's unique to this studio, I feel like. And I used to think it was all of Ubisoft, but I've learned over time, like, well, other Ubisoft titles don't communicate like this. Which is silence. That's how they communicate. It's complete silence. So if you're patient enough to deal with that, then this is a really good game. I mean, it says something that it's still alive, because there's some hardcore fans that love this game because they discovered it. You know, they discovered it. It's a Tom Clancy game, so that's gonna give it a shiny exterior surface, get people to look into it. And then they tried it. They took the risk and they fell in love with it, and it could ruin every other game for you. This is what we decided. What's happened to a lot of us. Not decided, but a lot of us is like, we're always looking for the next Division 2, and it's never going to happen because the Division 2 already exists. So, you know, we're looking for Division 2-esque type games, and this one just has some really cool things about it. It doesn't mean there aren't other great games. Obviously there are, but if you like looter shooters, this is like the one, you know? So that's a good example for the genre. Did we get this symbol? Yeah, we did. Okay. But to be honest with you, if the game is cheap, then buy it. You know, if the game is cheap, a couple of bucks, buy it. Why not? Fuck it, right? But if the price that they're advertising it for is meaningful to you, then wait until we see what happens with Assassin's Creed, because that's going to dictate whether Ubisoft is even going to be around, whether they shut down all the servers or whatever, you know. I mean, I don't think they're going to try to do that. They're going to have some sort of transitional system in place, because they don't want to just cut off all revenue streams. I mean, this is real money they're making, right? But games will shut down. Games will absolutely shut down. And Division 2 could be on the chopping block. It'd be completely naive to pretend that it isn't. We have a very small playing community. I mean, anytime the Division 2 is mentioned, so Tom Henderson wrote about the Division 2 the other day. He wrote an article about how the DLC was delayed. He's an industry insider. And the number one comment made by the general gaming public about the Division 2 is, this game still exists? And I'm not talking about in a trolling way, like in a genuine, like curiosity, surprised response. They are surprised that this game is still being serviced. That's how big the Division 2 is in the Ubisoft world, you know what I mean? That games like Prince of Persia and shit like that are louder than the Division. But everybody remembers the Division 1. Those same people who make that comment are like, oh, Division was amazing. Such an amazing game, but they never talk about Division 2. The general public always refers, and I mean gaming public, always refers to the Division 1. They never talk about the Division 2. It's never the conversation. It's a conversation, but it's never the conversation. It's Division 1. I can't wait for them to make Division 3. And they never talk about Division 2. Division 2 is a great game. Played both. But not as much. I didn't spend as much time in Division 1. Yeah, I hate being dependent on the success of another game too. But what up, Reaper? But this studio particularly, okay, has had their hands on all the shitty games that's launched lately. Star Wars, Avatar. Cause somebody ran the numbers on Avatar. It was like 800 people were playing that game. Some shit like that. Concurrent players.
Where I was searching for the meaning, I found myself instead. It is your duty to learn.
Yeah, but Reaper, the boycott is never going to end. That's what I realized. So Reaper is saying, I'm not going to give them any money until they start communicating with the community. And that's my stance. I haven't spent money on them in 9 months or some shit. You know, I absolutely spend $0 on the Division 2. 0. And there's been some cool outfits, man. You know me, I love my outfits. I love my apparel. And I skipped over the clown mask. I love that clown outfit. That was sick, you know? But I just couldn't do it. I just can't support these developers. And I'm going to come down hard in the next couple of days. I might rally the fucking troops in a minute, you know? I'm waiting to see what's going to come with this PTS. But, you know, if they start introducing microtransactions now, then I'm going to rally the troops and I'm going to say, hey, you know, speak up with your wallets.
You are here.
All they have to do is change their communication practices. You know, be more upfront, be human, talk to us like we're a community, like a gaming community, like some other really good examples do out there.
It's all right not to know the answers. They will come to you when you least expect it.
This is, you know, I hate to say it, but like I would love another studio to take over this game. I would absolutely fucking love it. Anybody else, man. You know, anybody else. Well, not anybody. Such a good game. Deserves so much more. And I know there's people over there in Malmo, in Massive Studios, that really are passionate about this project. I know they are. You know, so I'm not putting any particular person down. It's just, you know, whatever executive decisions are being made over there, the silence, the budgets, the infrastructure calls, it's just, it's sad. Tom Clancy would roll over in his grave. What do you guys think? I didn't realize that chat turned off here. Let me turn it on so you can see each other's chats. There it is. What up, Tanky? You get flack for saying that. Yeah, the diehards, you know what I mean? There's some people there's people that have no fucking idea what's going on right now. And they're not going to buy into it. You know, they're not going to believe it no matter what. What up, squad? What's up, man? Yep, that's true, Maritime. Yeah, Bethesda's not doing very well. They got a big release coming here in May, though. They got that Doom coming out, and it's looking pretty good. A lot of people are excited about it. But yeah, we'll see. It's 5 days, Reaper. Yeah, everybody got their math wrong, man. Everybody got their fucking math wrong. So, I should just put this up. Let me get something up here. Let's see here. Division. Key files. Let me put up an old roadmap. And then let me refresh this and lock you. There it is. Okay, so this is an older version. Okay, so I do have a more recent one, but what I want people to pay attention to are the launch dates. So the year 6 season 2 launch date was on October 29th. So if you go out, and our seasons are 120 days, and this is what people forgot, is that our seasons are 120 days. I don't know how they forgot that. They're content creators and they only cover this game, but somehow they magically forgot that this is a 120-day season. If you just do 120 days from October 29th, we all have the same calendar, right? We're not working off of Chinese calendars. So if you go out, that takes you to March 5th. Is it March 5th? Let me look at my calendar. I'm going off of memory here. March. It goes out to March 2nd. It takes us to March 2nd. So 120 days from October 29th is March 2nd, which is a Sunday. So they obviously not going to launch a game on Sunday. So they rolled it back to February 25th, which is the Tuesday right before that. So the season is actually only 5 days shorter. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 days shorter. But if you don't count the weekend, it's actually only 3 days shorter. But if you take a look here, see the little yellow that says missed on the timeline at the very top? So there was a delay between season 1 and season 2, and that delay was by 20 days. And in there, they gave us an event called the throwback event to buy themselves time. But so if you take that into consideration, then technically season 3 is actually delayed by 15 days. So where it was delayed by 20, now it's delayed by 15, discounted by the 5 days they pushed it up by to February 25th. So if we look at the current plan, it now looks like this. So this is the current roadmap. So I've removed the Brooklyn DLC from the timeline because it's indefinitely delayed. So it's down there on the right by the other indefinitely delayed shit like Resurgence and Division 3. Now, Division 3, we just don't have any intel on it, so who knows, right? But all we have is Year 6 Season 3 launching on February 25th, and then we have Assassin's Creed launching on March 20th. I put that there because it's important, because this game is relying on that one being successful. And then on April 20th, yeah, junior high breakup. Felt like a junior high breakup. But it seems to not phase them because they go forward with the, they don't learn from that mistake and like catch things ahead, or, you can rally behind some good PR, right? Like just like drip content to people, educate them on the changes and the direction. Kind of do what they're doing. They're just not doing enough of it. You know what I mean? Like when Yannick gets online and plays the game to show the modifiers, it's not very convincing. Like when I saw Yannick playing the modifiers for the first time, or even the second time, because he did it 2 live streams with it, right? Like, were you guys convinced? Like, I wasn't convinced. He's the wrong guy to be doing it. You know what I mean? They need to get a real gamer, maybe that's on their team or whatever, maybe a tester, it doesn't even matter, right? Yannick doesn't have to be the one playing it. He's obviously not playing it, right? And it makes it worse when he does it, because everybody believes the devs don't play their own game, just like Random is saying. Exactly, good timing, Random. It's like they don't play their own game, and then Yannick gets on there and it's like he's obviously not playing his own game. He's got a 500 gear score. Now, if you think it's silly for devs to play their own game, it's not. It's not. You know what I mean? Hey, thanks for resubbing, Tar. Targaryen tie. Hardcore. Right on. Appreciate you. Love that red skull, by the way. Like, it just makes it obvious that he's not playing the old game, and that's bad PR, right? That's not what we want to see. But that aside, the point of him playing is to demonstrate to get buy-in from the community, right? Like, hey, these are really cool. You know, you're gonna really like these. You know, once you get past a certain point, look how much you can dominate with these. You know, and instead we're seeing him get his ass kicked, and it's just like, I mean, we start tuning out. It looked boring. I didn't even pay attention to half of it. I didn't know what was going on. I was chatting it up with you guys. Wasn't engaged to that. You know, I had to wait until we got him to really learn the system and get an impression on it. So what I'm saying is, so they had the right idea. You know, get in front of the community, play these, show how cool they are. They'll see. And this is an age-old strategy. There's nothing new about that, you know. But, you know, 2 streams with Yannick dying all the time isn't going to do it with the modifiers. Thus, we lost a lot of players, you know? Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's our next thing? So hints. For more knowledge, there's more to learn from them all. See what else you can learn. They saw knowledge is power, and with what we're about to face, we can use all the power we can get. Are we really talking about Solar Farm again? No. This is probably just random activities, but because there's 3 of them. But the power thing makes me think Solar Farm. Well, let me pin that, and then we'll go do random activity. When it says 0 out of 3, it makes me think random activity. So. Let's get that beast. Get me out of here. Just activities right on. Thank you for confirming.
I'm getting reports that Black Tusk is present at the old hyena den. Target the site and see what you can find. You hear that?
On fire. I'm blown up.
Get the hell away from me!
We're going to be reloading, huh? Yeah, so tomorrow's gonna be really interesting. How I predict it's gonna go is they're gonna nip the bud in the butt up front and then put it to rest. I mean, that's how I would do it. And they're gonna say that's all we can say. You know, they're gonna cut it off right there by saying that's all we can. Or the stream isn't about the DLC, you know, that kind of thing. They're gonna do it like that, you know. They're gonna brush it off. They're gonna address it. They're gonna say, hey, yeah, it's just gonna be, look, some people are like, oh, they're gonna give us they're gonna give us the date, the launch date. Well, don't you think they would have given us the launch date in the DLC, for the DLC in the post on X that was yesterday? If they knew what the launch date was, right? They would have given it to us. They didn't. They didn't give it to us. So don't expect it one day later. I mean, what's changed? I mean, is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? No. I would love to be wrong. But at the same time, their dates don't mean shit. You know? Yeah, I mean, I don't mean that as in a bad way, but in a real way. I mean, I don't mean, not just throwing shade out there. I mean, like, I wouldn't trust any date that they gave me right now, even if they were sincere. The company's too volatile at the moment. Healing up so fast? Probably my armor on kill. I got a little bit of everything. So I got armor on kill, and then I got 3% regen. So 20% armor on kill, right? 10% here, and then 10% from the gunner specialization. And then this is giving me 3% armor regen, but then I'm also getting 40% bonus armor on kill. So effectively it's 60% armor on kill. Hashtag tired of smoke being blown up my ass. Yes, that is a real hashtag. Hashtag my ass is full of smoke. Well, I mean, yeah, I said that Parabellum that it'd be delayed, but you know, that's why I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not the only one that said that, right? A lot of people did, because these dudes are predictable, you know? It's all predictable. Tomorrow's very predictable. Surprises are hard to come by. I mean, one of the times that I've been truly, sincerely surprised by this franchise was when they walked back the seasonal characters. I did not see that coming, because they usually don't care how many players they lose, you know? God, I hate when they walk backwards like that. See how they walk backwards? They're so fast. Look, I'm sprinting forward. Barely caught up to them. Somebody behind me isn't there. I don't know how I died right there. I was behind cover. Let's get out of that rifle. Fucking Tusk? Oh, you fucker, you got way over there. Where the fuck is my backup? Anybody seen those dudes? Oh yeah, I know, I recall. If you're tired of getting smoke blowing up your ass, join me for the stream tomorrow. All right, we did it.
This is war, not a romance novel. Why do we care if Glasses has a girlfriend? We need to find the asset, not a telenovela.
Telenovela. That means soap opera in Spanish. Telenovela. What do you guys think about the new Manhunt content, Scouts? You guys digging it? Versus the traditional Manhunt system we had in seasons past. It's 7 a.m. Pacific time, which is pretty damn early, I gotta say. Yep. 7 a.m. PT. It's because they don't want anybody to be on it. That's a weird time to have it. What up, Nasty? So I'm pretty sure it's because they don't want anybody to be there live to ask them actual questions. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. These guys do not like confrontation. Well, they don't have to, right? I mean, they don't have to answer any questions. It's not like it's a live studio audience. Oh man, but I would not want to be reading those comments. I do not want to be reading the comment section if I was them tomorrow. You know what I mean? Don't want to blow myself up here. What do you mean? I have a choice, Nasty? I think it's all Anna, isn't it? Isaac is only around for some old shit that they couldn't reprogram, like mission-related stuff, I think. Isn't that right? Because if I have a choice, I didn't know. So, Anna. You tell me. Yeah, I know. They're bad. Started to believe it's part of their strategy. to dilute the pool, so you weren't always getting. I guess I went the wrong way. God damn it! Look at him foamed like that. Where'd he go? Shit. I shot him before he hit the ground. Should be dead. I don't know how that happened. Which way are they gonna come from? This way. This is the best way. Ah, fucker. Don't blow ourselves up. Really? God damn it. Feels like sometimes none of those bullets are registering, but it's that stellite shit. My opinion about Assassin's Creed is I don't think it's gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna do it, unfortunately. I mean, the only people that seem to be like giving it the most positive are the media outlets. And it's because Ubisoft, it's so fucking obvious to me too. Like, honestly, like all the typical media outlets, you know, and it's like, it's because they're an advertiser and they don't want to talk shit about an advertiser, you know. It's so obvious. Ubisoft pays for advertisement, so they feel obligated not to rip that game a new asshole. You know? I read all the reviews, man. They're all posted. Go look at them, you know? It's like, oh, it's so lame. It's so obvious that you guys, that they're not so vanilla, the reviews, you know? But the content creators, on the other hand, you know, I feel like there's some really fair. There's not a lot of people that are totally bashing it just because it's Ubisoft. I feel like they're being fair with it, saying, hey, you know, it's a good game. Some people are saying it's worth the wait, and they pull out the problems. Some people are saying, wow, this isn't going to save them. You know, it's not enough. It's not enough. Been there, done that. Same Ubisoft formula. There was this really good one from a Japanese content creator. Did you guys watch that one? Did anybody see that? It's the one where this Japanese content creator posted the video 8 times, the same video 8 times, and it kept getting pulled down for hate speech. Did you see that one? The delay to Brooklyn DLC, we're not ever really going to know, Armando. We're not. We can only speculate, but it's all related. It's all absolutely related. You have to be completely naive to think that the DLC is being delayed because of quality. That's like a canned response. It's obviously a canned response now. Anytime I hear quality, we want to make sure we deliver with better quality. That's like, they said that about every fucking game, including Skull and Bones, which is how we fucking got here. We're here because of Skull and Bones. You guys realize that, right? That game killed Ubisoft. Killed them. Ate all their fucking budget. And then Ubisoft went through it 3 times. I mean, Assassin's Creed went through it 3 times. Like, what else? X-Defiant, same thing. They're full of unreleased titles, late titles, and that eventually get delayed. What else went through that? Heartland. Delay, cancel, right? I recapped this in my video. But Armando, you did not watch my video. Bad Armando. This guy's MIA here. But like, it's the same shit. They always say the same thing with every one of these. It was because we want to make sure we put out the consistent quality that you deserve. It's like, fuck you. We're not children, man. You know? But apparently some of us are, because some people fucking believe it, you know? You guys don't really believe that shit, do you? I mean, it doesn't take a content creator to convince you otherwise, right? I mean, I think what they're banking on is people to not have a fucking clue on what else is going on in their universe. You know, that's what they're banking on with that kind of statement. It's like, oh, you're not following along. So maybe we can save a couple of people, those that don't read the headlines. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Because it's all over the place. It's like, we don't fucking believe that. This is fucking... That's what's worse. That's what's even more insulting. They're acting like we don't fucking know. You know? It's like, no wonder you're fucking tanking as a business. You can't even fucking treat humans like humans. We absolutely know. Quit treating us like it's what's the word I'm looking for there? It's belittling, you know?
Incoming hostiles detected. Hostiles guarding location nearby. Access key detected.
But if you watch this one reviewer, and I'm sorry I don't have his name, but it's not that hard to find. Asmund Gold ended up reacting to it because it was such an interesting case. So this Japanese content creator, and I don't think he's a big one either. I think he's just kind of a small guy. But his situation was really unique because he put up the same video 8 times. 8 fucking times. and it kept getting basically shadow blocked for hate speech, but there was no hate speech in it. There's absolutely no fucking hate speech in it. And so some people were able to capture it and then rewatch it, like watch the video, and Asmongold did. And so that's how I got to see it, is because Asmongold got to rewatch it and react to it because somebody had recorded it or whatever. But it's crazy, man. The situation is crazy. Snake, making it rain.
Huck, that's my boy.
Thanks for all those gifts. Congrats to those that got one. So what's interesting is that hold on, let me fix this thing. Is if you watch the video, if you watch this video, God, I'm tempted to find it, but it's probably gonna make me log in. I don't want to do that. So he critiqued the gameplay, the Ubisoft gameplay that they released. So they gave everybody, what was it, like 4 hours of gameplay or something like that? Limited access so people can review it and put out the reviews. It's all over the place on YouTube, right? You can watch it. So, but his perspective was very unique. It was coming, it was coming from a Japanese perspective, as a Japanese person, somebody, you know, how that they would react to this. And it was spot on. He wasn't doing this whole like culture racist thing or anything like that. He was just pointing out the obvious, like how the seasons were off and like, you know, how there was this unnecessary decapitations from Yasuka, which is the black samurai, on innocents, like non-combatant NPCs, level 1, right? He can just like, as Yasuke, you could go up to these non-combatant Japanese NPCs as a big brute samurai and decapitate them and cut their limbs off, cut their arms off, cut their legs off, cut their head off. And it's just like this massacre of innocent Japanese people. And then they show like Japanese women without shoes. Like, and it's just not as if like they couldn't afford shoes, that they're like too poor, but that's not how the Japanese culture, I don't want to pretend I know. But he was explaining like, no, Japanese women, even if you were poor, you wore shoes back then. You know, their shoes, their type of shoes, whatever. Just things like that. And the clipping issues, the fighting issues, how it's ridiculous that Yasuke would be wearing gold armor, gold samurai armor. That's like, no way. And not even like gods of Japan would be wearing gold armor. I mean, he takes it down piece by piece, like, but especially in level 1 NPCs, you know, just being, it's a little, from a Japanese person's perspective, it's not a race on race thing, but it's a little, it rubs you the wrong way when you have this big black samurai coming through and slaughtering Japanese people without any sort of repercussions. And as I understand it, in other games, in other Assassin's Creed games, you can't do that. You can't just go up and kill a non-combatant NPC without penalty. You know, and maybe that will be fixed in the game, but he was just pointing out this kind of stuff, and it's just like, he wasn't saying like racist, nothing like that. He was saying it's just unnecessary. It's ridiculous. And then he was pointing out combat things like you're fighting elites and they're just standing up straight in a non-combatant pose, like, you know, a combat stance, right? Like they're not in combat stance. They're just standing straight up, just welcoming the attack. Or how many times that you attack these guys and they just fucking stand there. You know, he's pointing out stuff like this, and his video keeps getting blocked, you know, and it's just weird. It's just weird. It's just like, if it's not Ubisoft, it's my guess, okay? My guess is that it's somebody representing Ubisoft. You know, like they hired an agency to keep a tight, watch on what's coming out of Japan. Have you guys noticed that? Like, it's kind of like that. I don't want to like claim conspiracy or stuff like that, but it's something like that. It's just weird, you know? And so they're making sure it gets pulled down and it's blocked, and you know, they maybe have an algorithm or bots that go through and can attack this so that it gets striked really fast and gets pulled down. It's just weird, but there was more to it. God, what else was he saying? Like, but the weirdest thing about it was that there was no hate talk throughout the whole thing. There wasn't anything. It was just him pointing out the flaws and its historical accuracy. You know, it just wasn't accurate in a lot of different things. You know, in the game, and I thought it was actually one of the best reviews I had seen. And but like, oh, this is wow. You know, I wouldn't have picked up on some of those details without somebody like this pointing it out. You know. Beyond the race stuff, right? Beyond like decapitating Japanese people just for no reason. Like, you know, but the other stuff, you know, about like this plant wouldn't be here. We didn't have these plants, you know, and this is the wrong season for this plant because they're really proud of their season changes in Assassin's Creed, but the plants don't align correctly, you know, something like that. I'm probably butchering the review, but it's just really interesting, you know, but these are all bad signs for the game, but the combat is really bad. Like, I gotta say, guys, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is better combat than Assassin's Creed Shadows. I stand behind that. Now, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows. I didn't get a playtest, but you know what I mean? Like, from what I can see and what I've experienced, it is not impressive at all, you know, and that game, it's not going to hit, man. It's going to get sales because it's Assassin's Creed. It's a big title. It's got a lot of loyal followers, but 911 is a Porsche. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden is an old game, but I'm having a good time with it, man. I'm having a good time with it. I'm not a diehard Ninja Gaiden guy. I have a problem with its fucking camera system, but you adapt. But it's really fun. It's basic, you know. Just slash your way through enemies and combos. It's like playing Mortal Kombat in the story mode. It's cool, you know. It's not game of the year, but maybe Gaiden 4 will be, you know. But yeah, it was an interesting story, and there was something else I wanted to mention about that. Fuck, I totally forgot. Oh, what was it about this guy in his review? Oh man, I can't recall. Shit. Killing me. I want to change up this backpack while we're here, just to do something different. I keep going back and forth from this backpack, and I want to try to get a really big mag on this thing. Let me clean up a couple pieces here so I can move shit around. That one will save. We could probably pull in the chest on this one, and then that would open up this backpack, and then that would give me this holster, but I think I don't like this holster, but it does give me a bigger mag. But because I'm not switching weapons, because if you keep switching weapons, you end up losing your RPM buff. That sucks. But if I run... Oh, see, I can't run the ninja because then I lose my bonus armor, and then you have a hard time out there. You do take a lot of damage. But that's the best way to get big ammo, right? Like synthetic. What up? Well, we'll roll like this for a minute. Let me just get out there and see what if I can get this to work. What you got to do is try to get the mag on the SMG. Or the other thing we could do is just switch over to the Ouroboros. And then we really got this thing going on. My crit chance is so high. I don't like it. What you can do about it though? We lost something. Oh, let's put this back on. Yeah. And then here, let's go ahead and run liability. Personally, I would like an expansion. So I would like something like Warlords of New York. Oops, too close. $75 fucking rounds. Worth it. Legatus. That was the brand. I was trying to remember the brand earlier. That's the brand we got this season. Legatus. Legatus for goddess. Somebody's got that special ammo. You fucker. Man. Dizzy again. Oh, God. You're fucking torturing me, man. God damn it. Dizzy, explosions, fire, bullshit. Where's this foam rider? feels fast as fuck. Doesn't want to come out, huh? Almost like this one better. But it feels just as fast as the other one. And easier to use. Bigger mag. All that good shit. They're coming, they're coming. Yeah, I saw another article today, another headline where 11% of all gaming developers have been laid off. I think that was just in 2025, which is obviously not that much time. It's gone by, but they were saying most of those are women developers. But that's a big number. 11% of all developers have been laid off. Industry's in shambles. I'd like to know, like, how the Korean developers are doing in comparison. Well, you're going to see a lot more of that, Nasty. Yep. So, like, one of the reports that came out in late 2024 as part of Ubisoft's big revelation on their financial status, but kind of in the early times of that conversation, they had announced that they're going to be remaking 5, I believe, Assassin's Creed titles, Blackbeard being one of them. Or Black Sails, or whatever it's called. It's Blackbeard or Black Sails. But yeah, 5, they're going to be remaking them. And so, yeah. I think a lot of companies are going to be sticking to what works. And, you know, I think we've been seeing this trend for a couple of years now, since 2023. That gamers are gravitating to old games. I mean, the Ninja Gaiden thing is kind of like that, right? I mean, is part of that story. They're obviously coming out with Ninja Gaiden 4, but the remake of 2 is part of that because, I mean, even for me that hasn't been invested in that series, it's just like, wow, this reminds me why I love video games. The old games have that in them, you know? Where so much is on monetization nowadays. And I like microtransactions in general. I'd rather do that than spend $90 on a game up front. But it does ruin the game development, the interests of the game, right? The creativity of the game. Which you know is corporate bullshit, right? It's not the developers, you know that. It's pressure from corporate somehow, right? I don't know how that plays out. I'm not a developer, but... Oh, fuck, man. I burned out? Fuck you guys. You know, when I say developers, I'm not actually talking about the guy that is coding shit in. You know, I'm talking about management, you know, the publisher, the corporate assholes in suits. Sort of. I'm including some of the others too, but it's just a term. Get a lot more power out of this version for sure. It's actually a lot easier to use. It is better. And I really enjoy that other one too. The Chatterbox. But that's one of the good things about this Ouroboros, you know, what made it good. God damn it, about to go down. Every time we go down, it's from some bullshit like that. Status effects. Yeah, you know, so the microtransactions is like, yeah, we're all willing to pay for games. You know, we realize this whole industry doesn't run off of bubblegum and fentanyl. Whatever. Backpack. Oh yeah, but you know, it's that whole part, you know, at first you kind of think they're exaggerating about it when they say that it's almost like they're developing shit games on purpose. You know, they're developing it, there's a way that people say it, but you know, like the game is developed poorly on purpose so that you pay for the enhancements, you know, and it is true to a degree, you know. I mean, like, I really enjoy the first Descendant, but you could see how they built it monetization first, you know, and it's the part where they went wrong. And I do think that they're coming around and they're reversing a lot of that. And they've been really generous, really, really generous. But it takes a long time to unravel that monetization first. They're doing it one step at a time, and it's unfortunate. I think that if they launched the game like it is now, 6 months ago, that game would be fucking slaughtering the competition, man. Slaughtering it. If they started out how they are now, but 6 months ago. They're just gonna have to find a way to bring people back. They need to be bigger and louder. Bigger and badder.
Supply room access locked.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day for sure. Man, so it is what it is, right? So let's just hope that we got some really solid shit coming for season 2, 3. Let's just hope that we got some like fucking kick-ass gear. Let's hope we get a fucking apparel event Can we get one of those? And then let's hope those modifiers are hot, you know. Let's hope they learned from their mistakes and they roll out some good ones. They just need to lay off on the status effects. What they don't realize is that introducing status effects and modifiers is that it's the problem is that it's layering, you know. Too many status effects, because status effects are all over the game. Environmentals, NPCs, different archetypes, and then special ammo depending on directives. It's everywhere. And then you put it into modifiers, it just becomes a little too much, you know. It's same old, same old. It's not that it makes it more challenging, it makes it more annoying just because we already have all that shit, you know? See that? She threw a fire grenade, and that has nothing to do with modifiers. See, look at that, I'm dizzy. Some dude that's 10 miles away. Dizzy again. So there's one asshole. You're not though, buddy. You're not.
Civilians in distress. Detecting additional.
Nice glitch. Hardwired. Dragon. What up, Dragon? Right on, Thunder. Thunder. Thunder.
Hostage health is critical.
Chatterbox over the Dark Winter? Probably. I mean, if you made me, yeah. Especially because the Dark Winter requires on kill, so it does limit it a little bit more to solo play. Obviously, you can play it in group and just slaughter, but you know, the Chatterbox doesn't, right? It doesn't come with the damage talent, so that doesn't help. But all you have to do is be by multiple enemies, and you're gonna get that RPM lift, which does help with the team scenario. Except the scaling, I don't know. I haven't run it in a group scenario, so to be honest with you, I don't know if I'd like it in a scaling environment. But in a solo environment, yeah, I would choose it because it's all about RPMs in my life. Fuckers. Get him not missing a fucking shot. Where is he? There you are. Oh, I have to reload. No escape.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Fuckers. You went way out there, man. I really like the big mag on this. 76 rounds feels nice. I have it. All right, we did it. Yeah, I can't chew on the Strega either. I mean, it's not a horrible weapon, you know. It's not. It's decent. It feels good when you're running things, you know. But I find like I just don't need it, you know. When you're running a build that's strong enough to make the weapon not feel bad, I guess is the way to say it, then you find you don't need it. It's part-time damage assistance, you know? You're like, oh, I might as well have something that's giving me more reliable damage. But for team play, I feel like that's where it does shine. And my favorite combo for it was, in the end, True Patriot, which I never did publish that build, but I meant to. I created it in a time where nobody was grouping up because of the modifiers, you know. So that's when I was standing out there, remember, and trying to matchmake in Tidal Basin, and nobody was coming. Nobody. There's two things. Yeah, one is I'm running Striker. Two is I'm running the holster. The holsters, I put the speed on the shotgun, and then I put the bigger mag from the holster on the SMG, because the gun is already fast. And then this is where shit gets crazy, is I'm running the passive modifier Impatient, which is giving it that an additional 30%. Cutting the mag in half, but then increasing my reload. So, and I'm only using it to build stacks for the most part, or just to rotate in the buff for my primary. So yeah, it's crazy fast, right? I mean, there's no enemy there. I need to have an enemy in order to get the 30% buff, but yeah, it gets crazy fast. Close range. It really is. The Snake, it really is. Actually, the ACS, it's not a strong weapon, right? And I'm running it with an extra mag. I'm running the Rock and Roll, which is one of the weaker versions, but great for stacking. And I'm running the Striker chest piece, and but it's known for its pellets. But it's a monster when you put speed behind it. Like Golden Bullet, it's a monster. I think we, speaking of Golden Bullet, that's coming in 1 week and 5 days. So this still happens. This is going to line up in a weird time. This is going to line up in 1 week and 5 days. That's when it unlocks. So that means it's going to line up for the climax event. We might be able to play that mission with global event. I don't know if you cannot, because this doesn't mix with modifiers, and if they are forcing modifiers in there, then you can't. But either way, the timing lines up. That'll be a good week of gameplay. Yeah, well, the SMG does a good job alone. Like, even if you didn't have the shotgun, Will, you do pretty good with just the SMG building stacks. I mean, you got a 75 round mag, 1600 base RPM plus 30% on top of that. Pretty close to 2000, right? 1900 maybe. Yeah, it's a beast. I like it. I like it, actually. We were running 3 protection from elite mods there. And then crits wise, 53 chance, but I'm running retribution, so it gets to 60. And then 113 crit hit damage. If I could, I would remove crit chance, but I could remove it there if I wanted to, but I probably would put weapon handling, actually. So that I could just have more control over this thing when it's in its A10 Warthog mode. But otherwise, I got crit damage everywhere. The holster defaults to crit chance, and it's got weapon handling. And then we got crit damage everywhere with the protection from elites. You might as well put on the last armor core that you can put on there, and then build up that bonus armor even more. Obviously, we had the damage, right? So, and it's not because of that one red core, you know. But I just let the build be. You know, I just didn't want to tailor it because we didn't need to. Gunner feels right. So you need a 20% armor on kill because you do take crazy damage. I mean, the times we die was because we got, you know, status effect like 3 times, right? You know, we were on fire and we got the dizzy spell and then we got riot foam. It was just bullshit, right? So otherwise your survivability is there. You don't need a faster time to kill than this. It's crazy. I mean, there's not much you could do in that way anyways. You could put on a stronger shield and get more damage that way, but you know, it's unnecessary. Obviously you can change your red cores, but the bonus armor is always a good idea with these types of builds. You know, you're in people's face, you're running and gunning, you shoot first, you kill a lot of people first. Again, it's the status effects that's just gonna make you not have a perfect run, if that makes sense. If you're talking about crit nasty, sort of. Obviously, if you crit chance cap is required, as a matter of fact, if you're running a talent that's based off of crits, which we're not, right? So striker chest piece doesn't require crits. The gear set neither does the backpack talent, neither does the weapon talent, neither does the holster. Nothing requires crits on the build. On top of that, the line in the sand is 120% crit damage. So if you're over 120% crit damage, then you need to hit your cap. If you're under 120% crit damage, then you want to balance your crit chance with your crit damage. So 2-to-1 ratio, 50% crit chance, 100% crit damage. If that makes sense. So 60, 120, 40, 80. But that aside, we are actually reaching cap because I'm running retribution. So we are getting crit chance stacks. But the sad part is we're kind of wasting a lot of this because I'm almost at cap, right? I'm at 53, cap is 60. So this is only giving me 7% crit chance, which is lame. I mean, I can just take off. The reality is it'd be smarter for me to take off that crit chance, strip off as much crit chance as I can, but I can't because I'm using an exotic. So there's only one crit chance I can remove, and that's not very great. So what would be better is for me to add another crit chance and take off retribution. So if I were to take off retribution, I'd probably put on persistence and get that 20% movement speed. That's a lot of movement speed is survivability in this. Otherwise, you can take drawback and get better weapon handling. I wouldn't mind that. 50% of headshot damage. And if we look at that, that'd be 35% weapon handling. So that's reload speed, stability, and this thing, you know, shoots really fast. So the more handle you can have on that, as well as accuracy, which is the little reticle bouncing around. So more shots on target, the better. Or the more stats to help you put more shots on target, the better. Because this thing is putting out 2,000 rounds per minute, basically. So, you know, you're probably better off with the handling one. And then by doing that, you'd want to take off one of these protection from elites. And then that puts us basically cap to 120. 59 to 113. But I could leave it at 53. So just like I said, if you're under 120, then you don't need to be at cap. So we're actually ideal where we are. So 53, 113 is fine. White, you're better off going into Discord and getting people. You can't matchmake. I mean, if you did matchmake, you wouldn't be in the mode that gave you, you'd be in the casual mode. So, but you could go in there to recruit, but that would take forever. So yeah. Is it worth the effort? No. But if you're a completionist, then I get the itch that you got to scratch. But the reality is you're better off going into Discord. There's lots of Discords that run at our Discord does, and depending on your platform, some are easier to get into raids than others. PlayStation's pretty damn active on that department. Otherwise, you need to go into the dark zone, right? That's the other way to get it. Or you can spend like, what, $150 to get it from some booster site? Not a fan of that option, especially for a weapon that kind of sucks. Is there a weapon in the Division 2 worth $150? No. No, there's not. Okay, so, well, I'm going to call it a night because we're going to get up nice and early tomorrow, as usual. But I'll have to prep for that in the morning. So look forward to hooking up with you guys. I'll pop in early for the stream, as long as I don't accidentally sleep in. But 7 a.m. Pacific time is when they go live. So I'll try to jump in at like 6 a.m. and just chat it up with you guys, do some gameplay, wait for them to come online, and woo-wee. Fingers crossed. All right, folks. I will catch you in the morning. Later. Thanks for hanging.